Hare Krishna. Welcome to the morning Amrut Vani program. Her Grace Yamuna Svarupa Devi Dasi Mataji will be giving the Amrut Vani today. Bhakta Rameshwar Nayak Prabhuji will be reading the Namamrita. Hare Krishna. Welcome to everyone.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dandvat pranam to all devotees. Om Adnyana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Chanting a fixed number of rounds on beads is necessary for everyone, even a Paramahamsa. Madhavendra Puri left the temple and sat down in the village marketplace, which was vacant. Sitting there, he began to chant. In the meantime, a temple priest laid the deity down to rest. Although Madhavendra Puri was not interested in eating and sleeping, his interest in chanting the Mahamantra was as acute as if he were an aspiring transcendentalist rather than a Paramahansa. This means that even in the Paramahamsa stage, one cannot give up chanting. Haridasa Thakura and the Goswamis were all engaged in chanting a fixed number of rounds. Therefore, chanting on the beats is very important for everyone, even though one may become Paramahansa. This chanting can be executed everywhere, either inside or outside the temple. Madhavendra Puri even sat down in a vacant marketplace to perform his chanting. As stated by Srivasa Acharya in his prayers to the Goswamis Namagana Natibha, a Paramahansa devotee is always engaged in chanting and rendering loving service to the Lord. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 4.125. Hare Krishna.
Yanaji, you can start.
Hare Krishna, Danvat Pranam to all the devotees. Shri Shri Radha Ras Bihari ki jai, Shri Shri Sita Ram Lakshman Bhakta Hanuman ki jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maya ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Shiksha Guru His Grace Rupalas Prabhuji ki jai. So, we were talking about Paramhansa, and we know that Hamsa is swan and Paramhamsa is the supreme swan. It is said that the swan can draw milk from a mixture of milk and water, and the supreme water, the person who draws out the spiritual portion out of the material world and who can live alone depending on the Supreme Spirit, not on the material world. Madhavendra Puri was such a great Paramahansa, great devotee. So when he went to Gopinath temple and heard that sweet rice is been given to the Lord and it is so famous, he had a desire that he should taste this and make this similar sweet rice for the Gopal. So he realized that still offering is not yet over. And so he felt very bad and he went out of the temple and he sat to chant his rounds. Thus we see that he even such Paramhamsa feels that chanting is so important. And he always chanted. Similarly, Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur chanted 3 lakh holy names, 192 rounds. So, when so much chanting is done by these great Paramhamsas, it is to be understood that for a normal person, chanting is so important. In the Navada Bhakti, that is all the 9 types of bhakti, we see that all the types of bhakti, if we do any one type, again, say chanting is the most important. After Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam, all these kinds of Navada Bhakti, chanting after hearing about the Lord, immediately chanting should come. And we must know how to chant. But although we chant offensively, we do some offenses in the chanting, but still, anyways, we must chant. That is the importance of chanting, to purify our own karmas, to burn our own karmas, because this is the Yuga Dharma, because this is so important that it is the way to connect to the Lord. So this is the importance of chanting. And although in the Vedic injunctions also it is given for the Kali Yuga, that chanting Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nastireva, 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 Gatir Anyatha. So chanting and association of devotees, these two are so important that if any by chance offense happens, we have this chanting to hold. We can hold on this chanting and we can chant Lord's rounds to purify our own heart and to remember that Lord is there to protect his devotees. Lord says, when anyone raises his hands and says that, Lord, I am yours, and chants his holy names, always it is that, shows that the devotee is totally dependent on the Lord. Thus is the importance of chanting. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada.